Hello and welcome to the second round of the Danish Tractor Pulling Championships, which are being held in Aars in North Jutland, home of the ancient Kimber Vikings. Today the rivalry will be friendly but fierce, and will be featuring 3 of the 9 classes. The team's getting set up in the pit area, and that's become an interesting part of the tractor pulling experience. Spectators being able to get up close to the machines and talk to the teams, as well as listen to good music and enjoy a cool soft drink with friends. The idea behind the sport is to pull a sledge down a 100-metre track, and if you do, you make a full pull, and that ensures you of a place in the pull-off final. The winner is the one who pulls the furthest. Now today's profile, Eric O'Donovan of the Enterprise team.
I started about 6 years ago as a helper. And it just started that he left me drive one day. And of course I said, yeah, I'd love to drive. So that's how it started. We had an old tractor, it was called Fighting Falcon. So when I started to drive that, and then we bought this one, this yellow one, and he left me drive. So I think that's how it started, really.
Well, it's a bit strange to find an Irish guy here in Denmark driving
a Danish tractor. Yeah, it's fun actually. It's nearly a passion, I think, because something with a lot of horsepower. I think it's run through my blood, I think. And if it'll go fast, it's me. And tractor pulling was it. It was the way it was, I think. My hopes today for first place, and I'll do everything I can to get to first place.
Well, there are 5 teams in the first class, where Eric must be one of the favourites alongside Jørgen Lauritsen with Wild Toy. Eric came from Tipperary in Southwest Ireland 11 years ago and is foreman in a factory that makes windows. Ib Olsen owns the Mini, that's him with the glasses, and it's a Chevy 572 with 1500 horsepower. Okay, I think he's about ready to start the fun. Eric sliding over to his right, but brake correcting. Then to his left. Oh, that's very close to out of bounds. But that is a full pull. Now from our camera at the end, they have no line judges, so it's all down to the end flagman's judgment. And he certainly couldn't see the left back wheel from that position, so perhaps Enterprise was lucky. And Eric begins with a full pull. Now this is first choice with Torben Madsen from Mid-Jutland. He's a mechanic in the farming business, and he's got a smaller engine, a Chevy 526. But he says anything can happen in this sport, so he's optimistic for the season ahead. But not enough for a full pull. He'll have to settle for 78.16. Here's the boss. Used to be called Fighting Falcon, and now it's owned by 42-year-old Bjarne Sorensen from the island of Thun. He erects windmills for a living, and it's also a Chevy 526. Oh, and that is a long way short of first choice. 62.74 for Boss. The teams in this class were expecting to pull at the opening event in Herning, but a technical problem with the sledge meant that this was the first round for them. As we go back to the start, where Ghost with Kim Schultz is ready to roll. The Rover Meteor from a Centurion tank engine giving him his power. Question is there enough of it? Nope, not this time. And it's 76.61 for Ghost. And that means third place at the moment with one more to pull. Now this is Wild Toy. Used to be called Blower Power and comes from Norway. It's got a Keith Black 518 which costs 350,000 Danish kroner new, but Jørgen Lauritsen was able to get it second hand, and with the help of a drag race team has got it running really well. He also comes from Mid-Jutland. Much more speed, Brake correcting and then off to his left again. But a powerful full pull from Wild Toy, and that means we have a two-way pull-off final. And that final looks like this. Wild Toy must be favourite with the much more powerful motor. They're lowering the spikes on the sledge which dig into the ground and make it harder to pull for the final. Here's Enterprise. Every tractor has a kill switch which can be pulled by the sledge driver if he feels the tractor driver has a problem or is out of control. Fixing it there, it pulls out the fuses and stops the tractor. And although Eric O'Donovan had a wild first run, he was always in control. Let's see if he can keep it on the straight and narrow this time. No, he's off on his travels again, drifting to his right, getting very close to the white line there, but no chalk on the tyre and staying in bounds. Now let's see it from our end camera. End flagman Lars Madsen. He's there and now he's obstructing our view, but he has judged the Enterprise to be out of bounds, and that means automatic disqualification. Tough call. So now all Wild Toy has to do is start and he'll win this first round. Hungry work watching these guys. Björn Laursen was second in Denmark last year, but he did win the Nordic Championships in Sweden. So remember, all he has to do is stay in bounds and he wins. It's a difficult track. He's sliding to his left. And shutting down before he goes out of bounds. Very wise. Broken right front wheel, but that won't take long to repair. And he can be pleased with first place. See what his distance was. 85.64. So here is the result. Enterprise taking second place despite the qualification, and First Choice doing enough for third. The points table looking like this, so all to play for in the remaining 6th round, as the top 3 celebrate on the winner's podium.
It's a little bit difficult, but it's okay. But it's fun if we win. But yeah, some front wheels broke now, but 1 hour, so it's done again.
And that was a nice run from Wild Toy. The next class we're going to see is the Pro Stock. And in this class there are 6 to the start. So if the minis have problems, maybe the big boys will also run into trouble. But John Deere is one of the top Pro Stocks in Europe. He was second in last year's Eurocup, but Rasmus is going to try and put that right this season. But right here, right now, he's after a full pull and max points today. So the front comes up and he is cruising, even though the sledge weighs 21.5 tons. No probs, and that is a full pull to John Deere. Rasmus with a satisfied look, and he's thrown down a challenge to everyone else in the class. This is Blue Bambino and Niels Damgaard, who owns an agricultural machinery hire company. In fact, he didn't get off the line at Herning in the first round, but he seemed quietly confident in the pits before the start. It's a Ford Powerstor motor, and this is a much more promising run. Not the same speed as John Deere, but equally as effective, and he has taken up the challenge. He'll be pleased with that full pull to Blue Bambino. Niels over 60 years young and no thoughts of retiring yet. Okay, partner, what's next? It's Il Tempo Gigante who's backing up to the sledge. On with the sledge chain, then the kill switch wire. Now all he needs is a full pull. Started well, sounded good. Oh, but then something broke under the bonnet. And that won't win Bo Svensson any prizes today. 35.79 for Il Tempo Gigante. And this little lad is in a world of his own. 33-year-old Henrik Svenningsson comes from Jallerup in North Jutland. Finished 4th at Herning in round 1 and this will be a perfect time to make a full pull with the Blue Rabbit. Promising start. I think he must have heard me. Oh, a really nice pull there. So 3 full pulls, and we have 2 more to run. Now this is Guile Special with Paul Guile. No guesses where the name comes from. Buckling up. Safety very important in this sport. 10 years ago they didn't have roll cages, and that's just one of many things that have been added in recent years. Paul firing up Guile Special. Smartly away. Oh, but then it looks like a water pipe came adrift, and Guile Special did an excellent impression of Niagara Falls there, with Paul getting a steam bath, and he's explaining to his daughter what happened. And it looks equally dramatic a second time. 47.48 for Guile Special. So there's just one left to pull in the qualifying round, and that's the winner from Herning, Buckerbruiser, with 34-year-old Jakob Jensen in the hot seat. He comes from Mid-Jutland, and he's in servicing and repairs. Oh, look at this. Straight down the middle for Buckerbruiser. Oh, and he could have gone on and on and on. An impressive full pull from Jakob. So we have a 4-way final, which looks like this. A green, a red and 2 blues, with perhaps John Deere and Buckerbruiser the most impressive of the qualifying runs. Now, can Rasmus Hoyne get revenge for his first round defeat at Herning here in Aars? Well, we'll soon find out. Firing up the Deere, slipping the clutch. Oh, rising high in the air, perhaps a bit light at the front. And I think he was probably hoping for a bit more there. We put a camera on the sledge and let's see what happened. He's sliding over to his left. But not a bad run. So now Rasmus has to sit and wait and see if it was good enough for the top spot. 86.41 to John Deere. Now it's the turn of the Blue Rabbit. Henrik Svenningsson has been pulling now for 4 years. Started in the Young Farmers Association before moving on to the DTP. And he seems confident enough. But it's a tough job to beat the Deere and Buckerbruiser. Not as fast or as high as the Deere, but he's getting the job done. I think this is going to be very close. 86.41 to beat. What has he managed? 85.51, so just under a metre short for Blue Rabbit. But that at least ensures him a place on the podium, as Blue Bambino has had a problem with the engine and won't be coming to the start in the final. So, just one more to pull. Buckerbruiser and Jakob Jensen. He treated himself to a skiing holiday in Austria during the winter, because there's no time for breaks in the summer, so you can see where his priorities lie. Easing on the gas. He's away. 86.41 is the magic number to beat. Oh, and again it's going to be close. But I think he's done it. Looking across at the flag and raising his arm. 92.89 for Buckerbruiser. Over 6 metres more than John Deere. It's 2 out of 2 for Jakob Jensen, and you can't do better than that. In the points, Buckerbruiser opened the gap at the top to 6 points to John Deere, with the Rabbit moving up to third.
Well, the track is a little bit hard to read, so but we were lucky.
And now it's time for our last class, the largest of the day, the 4-ton B division, with all of 9 starters, including the only female competitor today, Anja Hansen and Herbie, the reigning B division champion. Well, we begin with Morten Poulsen in this, his first year in tractor pulling. He's got a V8 Scania 143, which is called Shrek, and it's nicely finished with all the chrome. He's ready, so let's see what he can do. There's a lot to learn in this sport, which gear to choose, weight distribution, amongst other things. It all goes down to the learning curve called experience. And with only one qualifying pull, he has to get it right. And he obviously didn't quite. But 62.71 is the distance for Shrek with Morten Poulsen. And these guys are having a great time, and the popcorn is a big hit with most of the youngsters here today at Aars Pulling Arena behind the exhibition centre. Now this is Blue Boss with 32-year-old Morten Schurup behind the wheel. He comes from North Jutland. He's got an 11-litre Scania motor. He's foreman at the Volvo depot in Aalborg, so he's used to dealing with large motors. Oh dear, something blew under the bonnet, and that will keep him busy in the workshop for a while. 40.10 for Blue Boss. Poof, and the world stopped. They're trying to find out what happened. Well, down at the start is Hingston, which means stallion, and Kim Jensen was tamed by Anja Hansen in the first round at Herning. So today he's out for revenge. 14.2 litre Scania motor, and it's really firing on all cylinders. Just what Kim wanted, an impressive full pull. So Kim is ready for the final. That's of course if anyone else qualifies. Well, in previous years they've had 2 chances to try and make a full pull, but now with so many teams they've had to reduce it to 1, or else they wouldn't be finished until late in the evening. So popularity does create problems. And Kermit is hoping to join Hingston in the final. It's a Tatra V10, comes from the Czech Republic, and this is another Morten Poulsen. It's his second year in the DTP. Comes from Mid-Jutland, is a farm mechanic by trade. 300 less horsepower than Hingston, but the Frog is hopping along nicely. That's short of a full pull, but still a good try. 92.58 for the Kermit. He's a happy man, hopping into second place, but still 5 more to pull. Now this is Bison with 23-year-old Bernd Clemensen, who comes from Tinglu, close to the border with Germany. He was 3rd in the first round with this 14-litre Scania V8, which was built in 2006. Oh, and it was over almost before it started. 8.97 for Bison, and that's a pull he'll want to forget. Now this is Blue Lightning, Scania V8, and Thomas Berg is behind the wheel. He's a 27-year-old and comes from the middle of Jutland. Good start. Drifting a little to his left, but brings it back on line, I think. And then it's full speed to the finish. So a good run from Blue Lightning. That's a full pull, and we will have a final, with 3 more to pull. Although the chassis may say Volvo, inside it's a 40-litre Transmash motor, giving Red Rooster 1400 horsepower. Alan Ligor is driving, and let's see what he can do. Oh, setting up a real smokescreen. What a sight. I pity the sledge driver who won't be able to see a thing. Now losing steam and slowing, and finally coming to rest about the 70-metre mark. 76.01 for the Rooster, who is still steaming. And this is what it looked like from the back of the sledge. Like driving in tonight. Yeah, so 2 more to go, and this is Starlight. A Tatra V12 driven by Michael Hansen from the island of Fyn. He's a 24-year-old and drives a lorry. But he won't be driving Starlight anymore today because that's well short of a full pull. 85.51 for Michael Hansen. So now, the last qualifying run today. It's Anja Hansen and Herbie. Well, she's got 1,000 horses from her Iveco V8 motor. Let's see if they can carry her home. Oh, yes indeedy. Throttle hard down and don't spare the horses. Full pull to Anja Hansen and Herbie. That means we have a 3-way pull-off. There's Hingston, Blue Lightning and Herbie. And I think I know where I'd put my money if I was a betting man. Well, they're adding an extra half a ton to the sledge for the final, so now they'll be pulling 21 tons. The sledge itself weighs 13 tons, and there's now 8 tons in the weight box. And I wonder if that guy in the red has an inferiority complex. Well, first into the arena is Hingston with Kim Jensen. Coupling up, and then adding the kill switch wire. Can he get revenge for losing at Herning? Well, it's a perfect day for it. He's going well. Approaching the 100-meter mark. And that is just a bit short, I think. And this is what it looked like from the sledge. For all finals, they had an extra 10 metres, so to make a second full pull, you need 110 metres, which is marked by what they call a floating finish line. But Hingston was well short of that. 98.36 for Kim Jensen. Blue Lightning discovered a problem after they got back to the pits from their full pull. They've tried to secure the pipes, as you can see there, but whether they're successful or not, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think so. No, it's no-go for Blue Lightning. Flagman Peter Thompson waves out of time. Shame for Thomas Berg. Now the last to pull. Anja Hansen and Herbie. Slowly away, but then picking up speed. The front comes up. And the Anja Express is on its way. 98.36 to beat. And she's well past that mark. There's the distance for Herbie. So here's the final result. Hingston again second, with the unlucky Thomas Berg third with Blue Lightning. It was max points for Herbie, Hingston second, with both Starlight and Kermit sharing third place. Patricia Nielsen giving Anja her trophy as the 3 on the podium acknowledged the crowd. And she's saying, well, the track was not as good as it could have been, so it wasn't easy, but 10 meters ahead of number 2 was nice. Yes, we're going after the title. And finally, this is the program events for this year, so go along if you have a chance. You won't regret it. This is Roger England saying enjoy your pulling and stay safe. Bye.